All right, everyone, we're here at the conclusion of the forum, and we're going to get some comments here from the.
Can you give me 1 second?
Yeah.
Can I just
Yeah.
get down? And then
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm down.
Okay. We have Joe Powers. Tell us how you think today went.
Yeah, I think it was a great day. It was great to see so many folks come out. I know it's a busy day in Patrick County, so the fact they made the time here, it means a lot. I think that what it shows is what we're seeing everywhere is that people are ready for something new, something different from their leadership here in the 9th District. And I think today's just the beginning.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself for us for our district.
I'm Joy Powers. I'm a fourth-generation beef cattle farmer originally from Bedford County. My family has deep roots there. We've been there since about the 1700s. I'm a former foster mom. I adopted my son from foster care, and he is sunshine in human form. And then I'm also kind of a policy nerd, so I love rural policy. So I spent my life in my 20s. I was working in international agricultural development and rural policy, and now I came back home, run our family farm, and work at our family's small tractor dealership. Raised my son, and now I'm running for Congress because I know we deserve better than what we have. We have such a special community here in CD9. We really want to make sure that that's highlighted.
And the cameras missed it, but do you mind telling us what happened right before the program even started? I believe you had one of the individuals here to tell you to shut your mouth. Is that correct?
I think that politics bring out a lot of emotions from people. I do believe that this district deserves someone who has lived in rural Virginia and especially in our district. And so we've said that and expressing that as a woman, I was told to shut my mouth. It's not the first time it's happened in politics. It probably won't be the last, but you know what? I'm tough enough to handle it. So thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, we have Mr. Douglas here with us. Hello, sir. Hope you're doing well. Can you tell us how you think today went?
Okay, who are you and what are you doing?
My name is Luis Romero with Star News and RBS News Now.
RBS News Now.
It's Star News, yes, sir.
Okay, and what is that exactly?
A television station covering Martinsville, Danville, and Reidsville, North Carolina.
Okay, all right. I felt good about today. I think we need to be serious, as serious when we come to an event like this as we claim we are all the time about the situation in the country, and we need to get real about it. And we only have a short time to prepare to run against Morgan Griffith, and so we need to start being honest with each other and stop playing around and being nice and trying to keep everybody happy. There's a time for being polite. There's a time for telling the truth. And I know you can combine both, but sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's hard. And when people have said things to you that brings up racial issues, when you're an African American, you have to deal with that. You have to deal with that. My ancestors, struggled in the 9th District, and that's very personal to me, very personal to me. And to claim that somehow I don't belong in this race, I may not say it perfectly, I may not say it exactly right, but I expect that I should get some leeway, the same as anybody else would get about any other issue, and people should understand. And when somebody has to come to a place like this and say to you that they're not racist, I think that's a warning sign, that's a red flag when somebody says they're not racist. There's racism in everybody. And, the bad part of it here in this country is unfortunately directed toward African American people. And so I feel good about the way the day went. Like I said, it's time to tell the truth and be honest about stuff. And if people really care about what they say they care about defeating Morgan Griffith, we're going to have to be real. We're going to have to set some things aside. We're going to have to get past some of our preconceived notions about people and some of our prejudice. And I think there is some of it going on, unfortunately. And, when people have to try to apologize for me for talking about something that's sensitive and important and truthful, there's a problem there. There's a problem there. And, I may have lost some votes. I may have lost some support. But I think I gained some support and I gained some respect, and that's very important. It's important as an African American, and I hope I represented that community. I hope I represented those ancestors of mine, because that's why I am here. That's a part of it. They had faith in me, never would know who I was, but they, suffered and struggled for me. And so I owe them something, as well as owing the people here something, and our children and our children's children. So, yeah, I think it went fine.
And I think Miss Powers was the one that made a post, I think, that you didn't agree with. And is it correct you told her to shut her mouth? Is that correct?
Okay. What happened in our exchange is complicated. But the dynamic that came up, I tried to walk away. She wouldn't let me walk away. And then she claimed at the end that I was harassing her. But the dynamic that I have lived with all of my life is you take a concern, an African-American concern, to a Caucasian person. You're expecting to get some understanding. And what you get is anger. You get anger in return, like you've done something wrong by bringing up the issue. I wanted to give her a chance to explain before I brought it up. I think that was the right thing to do. I gave her a chance to explain. She had no good explanation for it, and she did, and she kept trying and fumbling, and I tried to walk away, and she wouldn't. And then she got angry, and then one thing led to another. And yes, I told her to shut up because she should have shut up. She was out of turn. She was wrong, and she didn't want to admit it. And when you're wrong, you just say you're wrong, and you admit. You don't keep making excuses and backpedaling and trying to, and she's skilled she's skilled at trying to make you out to be the bad person. And so I was called outside to talk about it, and it appears to me somebody had already talked to her about it because she knew. So I'm like, why did she get talked to before I was ever called outside to discuss it with the people who are running the thing? She already knew that there was going to be this meeting. She had already discussed it with somebody. So she was not the person who brought the issue up, but she knew she was on the inside of the conversation before I was brought in. So I was made to look like the bad guy, which is typical, so typical. You bring up a racial issue. We don't want to talk about that. Don't rock the boat. Don't say anything that's going to upset people. Hey, we want to look out at the world and at Republicans and say, hey, they're racist, they're bad. And we don't want to admit that, hey, we've got it right here in the Democratic Party. And until we deal with it, until we deal with ourselves, we can't help other people deal with theirs.
Kind of introduce yourself for us so those that are watching know, and what you hope to bring to this role.
So I'm Douglas Crockett. I am a Democrat running in the 9th Congressional District. I'm from Wythe County. I plan to settle in Washington County in Abingdon. My wife is from Buchanan County. I am running to win. The question was asked, what would be a win for you? No one else answered that question but me. A win is a win. That's all I'm after, is to defeat Morgan Griffith. And I think that's telling, is that I don't think they believe they can win. They never said that. They never said that was their goal in this election. Maybe in the future they're thinking about, well, if they work hard enough over years, they can win a future election. But I want to bring a Democrat, or not just a Democrat, a better representative than the one we have in the 9th District, whether they be Republican or Democrat. If Morgan Griffith had somebody running against him that was better than him, fine. But I think the role of the party is to get the best candidate and put that person up for people to vote for. I honestly believe I'm the best candidate. I may have misspoke there at the end when I said, they're not qualified, but what I meant to say was, when you compare the experience, when you compare the two resumes, there is just no comparison. That's what I meant to say, and it's head and shoulders. Head and shoulders, 40 years of ministry and service to low-income people, and people who in the last 6 to 18 months have gotten out trying to convince somebody that they're for the low-income people, that they care about those people and their concerns. I was one of those people. I was one of those people. So my mom and dad struggled. They only could go to the 7th grade. They struggled to raise 4 of us on one income. I know what it is, not just, and I had the opportunity to be a privileged person, and I didn't call them that, they called themselves that. One of them said, hey, from my privilege, they said that. You know, I had the opportunity, I could have done different things, but I chose to serve low-income people and to work with and try to help over a span of 40 years. Seminary, law degree, this is no comparison. A person is running to go to Congress to pass laws and to prevent bad laws, pass good laws, prevent bad laws, to help the people in this region. I think it's just obvious. And if someone can't even entertain that thought, they have to make an excuse for somebody who raises that issue. That's very telling. That's very telling.
Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right, folks, we have to get Mr. Adam Murphy. He's the next candidate. I did get her. Do you want to say something? I got her. Did you want to say something? Yeah. We got Adam next here with us.
We'll talk in just a second. I'm sorry.
Hello, sir.
What's your name again? We've met before,
Luis,
but-
yes.
Luis?
Luis.
Nice to meet you.
Yes. So tell us, how do you think today went?
Pretty good. I think today was really well. We had a lot of people who showed up on a Saturday night during the middle of a festival to come here and speak. I enjoy that. We have you here. We have media. So I see that as a win. It was a good time.
All right. And for those that maybe don't know you, can you introduce yourself for us?
So my name's Adam Murphy, Democratic candidate for Virginia's 9th District, running here across all Southwest, been running since June of last year. I've been to every single county and independent city. I don't take any corporate PAC, any billionaire money, no foreign interest funds like APAC, and I'm running to represent the people of Southwest Virginia, not red team or blue team, but the red, white, and blue team, to make sure that we actually get the future in our district that we deserve and no longer continue the neglect that we're dealing with right now.
And kind of a bit of a heated forum here.
There were some surprises, I would say so. There were some surprises.
And it looks like there was an exchange. You weren't part of that, right? I think
No,
someone said to
I felt like I walked into that. I'm not really sure what's going on, so I only have kind of half-pieced information, so I don't want to comment too specifically because I don't know exactly what's going on. I just want to be honest. I really don't.
Absolutely. All right. And what's next?
So tonight we're going to Salem for the Virginia Western CLUW Bread and Roses dinner. We just got our 1,000 signatures to be on the ballot, so we're all good there. Next week we're going to be in Wise Norton. We have a moms forum where we're meeting the Southwest Virginia Vikings who just went to championship, and we helped kind of support some of their pages a little bit. We got a lot of things going up. We're going to be in Wise Norton basically all of next week.
All right. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.